What's up YouTube, it's your old school expert, and today I'm going to show you a little project that I've been working on for a few months now. Haven't really had to acquire a whole lot because I had the majority of it, but I used a lot of my extra old school singles that were not like PSA gradable, so they're like, I mean, you could get a 7 or an 8, maybe a 9, but probably no 10s in here. So you guys know I have like first edition complete sets, like I think here's my LOB first set complete set for reference, and it's got all, the commons and rares and all that great stuff, not just the hollows. So we have those, and those will always remain the same, but I want to do something cool with some of the extra first edition hollows, specifically the ultras and the secrets. So I made a little binder. It's a 12 page or 12 card per page binder, because in each set there are 12 ultras and secrets total for the first 11 sets. So I did it in chronological order, and the first page is the only one that's not really in numerical order for the set, so this is LOB. Everything is glossy except this Monster Reborn, because I really, I don't have an extra glossy Monster Reborn, so I'm looking to trade it down for one. I had a trade lined up, it fell through, and I just never followed up on trying to do it again. So here is the first edition set of glossy LOB. So again, not in numerical order because it looks weird when you have Exodia in numerical order. It just doesn't look, it's not very aesthetic. So I did this one kind of specially. And then the next page we have, let's try to center it a little bit better. We have Metal Raiders on the left and then Magic Ruler on the right. So this is a really nice looking page. There's a lot of nostalgia here. Someone's Goal is one of my favorite cards of all time. And then, of course, Solemn Judgment, the artwork on that is just so cool. So yeah, all of this is first edition and all pretty much like near mint. Some of you might be able to consider like very lightly played. Everybody's got a different definition of what is near mint, what is lightly played, what's very lightly played, what's mint. So just generally speaking, these are pretty much near mint. No creases for sure, and no major scratching or edge wear. So on this one, we've got Pharaoh Servant and then Labyrinth of Nightmare. So I love this page a lot because Pharaoh Servant was pretty cool, but I really enjoyed Labyrinth of Nightmare. I don't know why, I just really did. The game was a lot of fun back then. I had a really good time playing it and collecting it. Also, my cards got stolen for the first time as a kid during Pharaoh Servant, so maybe that's why it left a stale taste in my mouth. It was right after I picked up a Jinzo and a couple Fiend Mega Cybers and stuff, so it was pretty rough, but I got through it. It's hard when you're a kid and you don't have any money, and then someone jacks like $200 worth of cards or more. It was maybe $300 worth of cards. That was a lot of money back then, especially for like a 14-year-old. So, and then Labyrinth of Nightmare, like I said, Gemini Elf. The hunt for Gemini Elves was just, it was on back in 2003. It was so hard to find those for sale. I mean, you were paying well over $40 for a Gemini Elf. It was pretty nuts. I know they're worth more now, first editions, but even unlimited, moderately played, lightly played, whatever, it was $40 because it was such a staple in a beatdown deck. So really fun card. Next we have, honestly, I think these sets have the best artwork overall. I'm not saying it's the most nostalgic, I'm not saying it's the coolest or whatever, but I think it's the best. I think it's just so well done. The colors are amazing, especially on Legacy of Darkness, but also on Pharaonic Guardian. I think this is kind of an underrated set in terms of its, the way it looks, like how dark everything kind of is, and like Egyptian-y, and I just think that it's a really cool theme that they did. But I mean, when it came out, it just wasn't that great of a set. So Legacy of Darkness was, Yada immediately went to 1. Air Knight was used in a lot of beatdowns. Fiber Jar immediately went to 1 as soon as the ban list came out, because when it first came out, you could run 3 of anything, starting with this set. Injection Fairy Lily was also at 1. I want to say they did something creature swap, maybe not, but that might have been at 2. I know for a while it was at 2, but I don't know if it was way back then. And then, of course, Pharaonic Guardian has some cool stuff. Ring of Destruction was definitely the card out of Pharaonic Guardian. It was pretty much a staple. But, Don Zalug saw some play. It saw much more later on. And then burn decks, of course, used Lava Golem, and then used like Messenger of Peace or Gravity Bind to stall out the opponent. And this, too. This was a good burn card because it not only stopped your opponent from attacking for one of their big monsters, but it also burned them for 500 each turn. So it's a pretty useful card. So this is another interesting era in Yu-Gi-Oh! From what my shop owner told me way back then, these two sets were both short printed. For some reason, he didn't know why, if it was Konami or if it was Upper Deck that short printed them. But that led to a production issue, and there's just not that much of it out there. So these sets can be kind of expensive. Sealed product from these sets is very expensive. And then, of course, Dark Magician Girl. People love that card. Not much more you could say about it. I think it's cool, but it's definitely never been one of my favorites because it came out so late in the game, and then it wasn't usable when it came out. It just wasn't any good. So I never really pursued it, and therefore it's not like the most nostalgic thing to me, but it's a nice card. I like the artwork on Amazonas Swordswoman and Lesser Dragon. The artwork is so good on that. I don't have the corrected art paladin in here for two reasons. One, because my last ungraded copy is in my Magician's Force complete set, and then because it would be an extra card and it just wouldn't work. So no correct art, just the errant artwork. Breaker, such an underrated card. This card was a staple for years. Such a great card for dueling. And then Dark Crisis, I'm not crazy about it. It's one of my least favorite sets from the original era. Vampire Lord was really good. It was really hard to get rid of. When your opponent busted that out, you needed a boss monster to attack it, basically, because anything else short of removing it from play would just special summon back from the graveyard the next turn. So it was definitely pesky. And then Reflect Bounder was kind of cool. Used it in some Chaos decks. Exodia Necros is an awesome card, but in terms of like playability, it's kind of slow. So it didn't see a whole lot of love back in those days. Next, you got Invasion of Chaos. This is a lot of people's favorite set, especially after like the original like LOB and Metal Raiders releases. So obviously you had the Chaos monsters, and that's why people love it so much. It's no surprise. I mean, they're pretty freaking awesome. I mean, just look at the artwork on Dark Magician of Chaos. That's, in my opinion, by far the coolest card in this set. But Black Luster Soldier is a close number 2, and then probably Chaos Emperor Dragon after that. Invader of Darkness has some really nice artwork too, and then I like the artwork on and the colors on Joan, Insect Princess, and then Manticore. I'm not a huge fan of Black Tyranno, Dimension Fusion, or Dark Mirror Force, or Strike Ninja. They're cool, but never particularly cared much about them. And then we move on to the final set in the original series, which was Ancient Sanctuary, set number 11. This was before they started to change it to where they took out secrets, put ultimates. You guys know the story. So enemy controller was pretty good, especially later on, and especially after they like banned Change of Heart and Snatch Steal. You could sacrifice a scapegoat and take control of your opponent's monster, stuff like that. So, and then it was just a good way to play defense and switch one of your opponent's monsters to defense position. So next we have Tournament Pack, right? You got to have the TP Ultras. I don't have the Supers in here because, again, this binder focuses mostly on Ultras and Secrets. So we've got the Mechanical Chaser, Morphing Jar Needleworm, Royal Decree, then Luminous Soldier, Toon Cannon Soldier, DD Warrior. This card was just a little too late for its time because DD Warrior Lady had already come out, and it's actually better than this is. And then Magical Arm Shield, which is really cool from the anime. It's a really cool card. It wasn't really useful. I don't think anybody ever used it in a competitive duel who was serious about using it. But it was just cool. I'm glad they finally printed it. It took them until 2005 or 2006, but they finally did it. And then the 2 McDonald's pack cards, because those are awesome. The Sample Summon Skull. So you guys are probably familiar with that, but that's from the Sample Starter Deck Yugi back when they hadn't even decided yet if the Yugi deck would feature Summon Skull or if it would feature Dark Magician. It ended up obviously featuring Dark Magician, but there's your Summon Skull sample. If I can get the light to reflect on, you can see how shiny that is. It's like those Japanese game promos. So this one's in really good shape. Pretty cool. And I dropped it. So we'll slide that back in. So that's just in there because it's kind of a little piece of Yu-Gi-Oh! History. Oh, I forgot to flip it around. I'll do that later. And then there's this holographic error card, like a test print kind of thing. So that's kind of cool. Here we used to have 2 Blue Eyes and then 2 Dark Magicians, and then this is just blank because I don't really know what to put here. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. But I used this for something else I'll show you in a second, and then these are just 2 first edition starter deck Yugi Ultras. And that pretty much sums up what the collection was initially created for. And then this is like a little side project I did behind it. So I was trying to do one of every TCG, like English Blue Eyes. So obviously it's missing quite a few. There's no LOB. Dang, what's the other one? I don't know. It's been a while since I've looked at this, but, DDS. So LOB and DDS are missing. Those are just so hard to find in near mint condition, or just, not like cut in half. So, eventually that'll happen, but it's going to take some time. So we've got them they're in chronological order for the most part. I don't think I missed anything. There's a chance I did. But again, these are just TCG, no speed duel, no, like Euro exclusives really. I think there's one in here, but no like other language Euro exclusives. That's what I mean. So like English, if it was English Euro exclusive, like I think this one was, or one of these JMP ones is, then that was acceptable. So I put that in, but no like foreign languages or anything like that. It's just English, because that's, what I prefer. So it's kind of cool. It's got, they're all in pretty much near mint condition, and one of my favorite ones actually. So I'm missing dual terminal preview. I don't have that DTP, but just the regular dual terminal one is pretty cool. It's a super rare at a dual terminal. Pretty sweet card. I like that one a lot. A lot of these have gone up. Blue Eyes is pretty popular right now. Probably always will be. And so it includes everything, commons, everything, just one of every print of this card that I could get my hands on and figure out, like, was it TCG, English. So I think there's one more page. Yeah, that's it. And that's where it ends, with the maximum gold or whatever that one was. And then I do want to put all the Lost Art promos here, which I will do soon because I have most of them. So that's it for this binder. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was a nice little rush of nostalgia all in one binder full of cool nostalgic cards. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it. And as always, stay tuned for more awesome Yu-Gi-Oh videos.